Okay, so, whoops, I've just been using some black paint here. So I'm going to show you how to clean out the brush. So the best way to get your brush nice and clean is to use a triple wash technique. So as you can see here, I've got 3 jars of mineral terps. And if you have a look at the first jar, you can see that's my dirty wash, so that's where the brush goes in first. And then the second jar is what I call the medium wash. So when the brush goes into this one, you know, it's cleaner. We've got most of the paint out in the dirty wash. And then we've got the clean wash here. So you can see that one's still very clean. There's not much color in there at all. All right, so once we've done the triple wash, then we oil the brush. So I've got some brush oil here. And once we've got that in the brush, then it's all preserved and ready to go back into storage until next time. Alright, so I've just been using black on the sign here, so I've got this black on the brush. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pellet as much paint out of the brush as I can, like this. And I'm even going to go over here and just kind of, you know, just get as much of the paint out as you can, so you're not putting too much paint into your brush wash. And then from there, I'm just going to go into this first dirty wash. So I'm going to give that a good old swish around. Now I'm not banging it into the bottom of the jar because I don't want to damage the brush. I'm just giving that a good old swish around. Okay, going to give that a bit of a palette, work the thinners out of it, or the brush cleaner rather. It's not thinners, it's mineral terps. Oh, you can see there's a bit of black around the ferrule there, so I'm just going to get this rag. I'm just going to very, very gently, I don't want to pull on the bristles. Actually that rag's a bit crusty. Let's get another one. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of give that a little bit of a wipe just to get the brush off the metal ferrule. Sorry, get the paint off the metal ferrule. Okay, I'm going to give that a go like that. Now I'm going to spin it, get all that dirty thinners out, and then I'm going to go into the clean wash. Sorry, the medium wash. Alright, so I'm going to go in here. Now as you can see, there's not much black coming out of there at all. Black's a good colour to demonstrate this with because it's the darkest and the dirtiest. Alright, so same thing, bit of a swish around. Excuse me, reaching in front of the camera there. Let's get my rag, give it a bit of a wipe. Gonna give it another spin like this. Whoops, a daisy. Give it a good spin to get all that brush cleaner out and spread those bristles out so they're nice and open, and then I can just dip it into the clean wash like this. A bit of up and down and a bit of around. So you can see there, look at that, that's beautiful. There's no colour coming out of the brush at all there, so that means my first 2 washes have been very successful, and that's exactly what we want. Alright, so I'm going to give that a bit of a spin. And that brush is now clean. So as you can see, we really dirtied this one up. This was where, you know, the first load of paint got washed out. And then by the time we got to our medium wash, there was very little colour. There was probably a little bit of colour still came out of the brush in this one. And by the time we got to our clean wash, that really didn't change colour at all. So that was a great result, and that's exactly what we want. We don't want any colour at all left in the brush. Now finally, we're going to go into our brush oil over here. Alright, so same thing, I'm just going to give that a bit of a swish around. I'm going to give that a nice palette like that. I want to work the oil right into the ferrule. I'm going to give that ferrule a bit of a squeeze. Okay, now what this does, I'm not pulling on the hairs. It's very important not to pull on the hairs, because if you do that, eventually they'll loosen and you'll start losing the hairs out of your brush, which is what we don't want. I'm just going to give that a bit of a squeeze now. Hopefully you can see that. I'll come a little bit closer there. I can see there's a little bit of black, just a tiny little bit of black, just still coming out of the ferrule of the brush. Alright, so that means there's still either a little bit of paint or a little bit of dirty brush cleaner still in there. But either way, I want to get that out, so I'm just going to massage that out. Once again, I'm not pulling on the hairs. You don't want to squeeze and pull because you will eventually loosen the hairs, and you don't want any hairs falling out of the brush if you can help it. I'm just going to gently now it looks like I'm pulling, but I'm not. I'm just giving that a gentle stroke just to work the oil out of there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into my medium wash. Don't want to go back into this one because that's just going to fill the brush up with black brush cleaner again, which we don't want. Alright, so what I'm going to do, now I've got the oil in the brush there, that's going to help kind of extract that dirty thinners out of the ferrule. by having that oil in there. All right, so give it another spin, like that. Now back into the clean. Once again, I'm not banging the brush on the bottom of the jar. We don't want to do that because that'll jam the metal ferrule into the hair and break the hairs and cause all kinds of problems. Just give it a nice good old swish around like this. Okay, once again, going to give it a spin to get all the brush cleaner out of there like that. Back into the oil, bit of a pellet on the edge just to work that oil into the pellet. So again, give it a bit of a squeeze, bit of a massage. And now, I'll bring my fingers close to the camera. Hopefully it's not out of focus, but you can see there's no color on my fingers, which is exactly what I want. So this brush is good to go back into storage now until next time. Now what I'm going to do is, because we know that the chisel shape of the brush is its defining feature, I want to work that back into a nice chisel shape. So I'm going to just give it a squeeze and gently just sculpt a nice chisel shape there like that. And you always want to chisel the brush the same way. This brush has lost its brand stamp, but using the brand stamp as a reference to where you chisel your brush is a great way to make sure you're always chiseling the brush the same way, because you don't want to chisel it this way one day and then, you know, chisel it the other way another day, because the brush kind of, you know, gets a bit confused. It's good to just always chisel it the same way, and this one I've been using for a long time, so I know exactly where I'm going to chisel it. You can do a good trick, which is to put a dab of, say, nail polish on the brush, which if I look at one of these ones here, over here, let me have a bit of a rummage through here. Here we go. So this number 8, I was using that earlier. You can see I've put a, I think you can see that, a red or a pink piece of nail polish on there, because nail polish is really tough and it doesn't come off. And that's my reference for the chisel. So that way, because this brush has got no brand stamp on it, and the brand stamps, they, you know, do wash off fairly easily once you start getting solvents on them. So that helps me always know which way to chisel the brush. If I can grab one over here that's still got the brand stamp, I think I saw one. So there we go, the old number 10. As you can see, it's still got the letter art writing there, so that's a good reference for me to chisel the brush off every time. But once that wears off, you know, you probably want to put a dab of nail polish on. It's even not a bad idea when you get into your brushes to, you know, if you're super organised, go along and put that dab of nail polish on the brush where all the brand stamps are on the same side, and that way that'll stay there a lot longer, and you'll always, you know which way to chisel that brush. Alright, so that's a number 6 that I've been using on the black shadow, and I'm going to sculpt that into a nice chisel shape. Now I don't want this soaking wet, dripping with oil. I'm going to kind of massage it so there's still a nice amount of oil in there. I don't want to get all the oil out, but I just don't want it dripping with oil either, you know, I don't want it all wet and soggy. And that is all chiseled up and good to go back into storage. So I've got this jar over here I've been using for this little project we've been doing, and these are all the brushes that I pulled out of my kit. And what I normally do, I mean, everybody's different, but once I'm finished with all these brushes, once this project is complete, I'll put all these back in my brush box, and you know, that's where they'll stay until next time. But while I'm working on a job or several jobs or whatever I'm doing, you know, the brushes I'm using, I'll just kind of keep them here like this, upright. Keeping them upright too is also good because the oil flows down. Not sure if you can see all the way over there, but when you keep your brush upright, the oil by force of gravity just flows down into the ferrule, and that's good because that keeps it all nice and moist and conditioned in the ferrule. And even if there is a little bit of solvent or paint still in there, you know, that'll help get the oil in there and stop that from going hard. Alright, so that's how I work, and like I say, these are all the brushes that I've been using on this project. We've got quite a few there, and rather than putting them back in my box, which is on the other side of the studio every time, I'll just keep them here where they're handy. And once I'm done with them, you know, they'll all go back in my little brush box until next time. Okay, so there we go. So that's basically how you clean out the brush. It was a pretty long demonstration for a very simple thing, but basically just 3 jars of brush cleaner, mineral terps, whatever you're using. Your first jar is dirty, your second jar is medium, and your third jar is the clean one. And eventually this one's going to get really filthy and full of gunk, and this one here is going to start looking pretty dirty. So what I would do, eventually the medium jar will become the dirty jar, then I'll bring another clean one in for the clean jar, and the clean one will become the medium, and you can just keep rotating them like that. Alright, so that's how you wash a brush.